California Honda dealers. I'm Chris McGee. Big game James Worthy. Big shot Robert Ory. We got Allie Clifton. We got Brez. We got Trudell. They're handling the post-game locker room. The Lakers lose game one. They had a 6-point lead, 87-81 in that fourth quarter. Blazers went on an 8-0 run, and they were really in control from there. So much to get to. The Lakers' poor three-point shooting. We'll talk Anthony Davis. We'll talk the Lakers starting backcourt. But, guys, you got to start with Damian Lillard. He's been doing it the entire restart. He's been the MVP of the bubble. And he stepped up again. 9 points in the fourth quarter, 3 threes. He ends up with 34 points, 5 assists, 10 for 10 from the free throw line.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that was coming. And the Lakers had to know that that was coming. So I thought that he was hot at the beginning. I thought in the third quarter they kind of slowed him down a little bit. And they took the lead. He wasn't really scorching them. But McCollum, he started to warm up a little bit. But, yeah, Damian Lillard, man, you know, you cannot have a lethargic game and give a team like the Trailblazers hope and then let it be close in the last 3 minutes, because that's when a guy like Damian will not let his team lose. We have LeBron James, we have AD, but this guy is an assassin pulling up from anywhere on the court, Geeter. And I just thought that, you know, the Lakers, you know, missed. I think LeBron missed 2 free throws in a row down the stretch. AD missed 2 free throws in a row. The game was tied. That could have given them a little bit of momentum, but you could not give Damian Lillard an opportunity to win a game, because he's proven that, you know, he's going to close out.
Yeah, the Lakers did a great job guarding him in the third quarter. That's when they talk about this duo, this backcourt duo, and McCollum took over in that third quarter and kept him in the game. And then when it came Dame time, the last 10 minutes of the game, you see where he was pulling up from and knocking down threes, you know, unconscious. And that's what you got to understand about guys like that. You know they're killers at the end of the game. They want the rock. So that's the time where the Lakers' antennas should go up. And if he comes off a pick, you blitz it. I don't care if he's shooting from half court. You have to blitz it. But, you know, you can't take anything away from what Portland did. They played great. The Lakers played great. It was a great defensive game.
Hey, we talked about coming out and punching first. And Portland did that. They built a 16-point lead in the first quarter. It was the Lakers that had to fight back. And, guys, when you lose a game in a playoff series, you have to break everything down, player by player, moment by moment. But bottom line, James, I'm looking at 5 of 32 from 3 in a playoff game, 16%. It's going to be real tough to win in this league. And, James, they were the worst three-point shooting team in the bubble, percentage-wise, during those 8 games, and it carried over.
And they had good looks tonight. It wasn't like they were getting poor looks, you know, contested shots. They just did not fall. I mean, 5 for 32. I mean, that's a poor shooting night, but they got to keep shooting. They have to keep putting them up no matter what. Kuz came in, hit some, you know, hit a one. But I got to tell you, it's going to be hard to win games, you know, the way they are used to winning games, which is sometimes a little easier if they can't knock down that 3-ball.
Starting backcourt's going to hear about it, Rob. They should stay away from social media. I mean, we all understand this. This is part of the NBA. You heard it through your career. You all do, especially when you lose a playoff game. But just 4 of 21, 2 for 13 from the starting backcourt. In the 3-point, 5 of 32.
It's going to be a finger pointing at them.
Yeah.
But you got to understand it. It's not like this duo doesn't do that to anybody else in the NBA. They just got caught on the big stages of the playoffs. And I think what you have to understand as a player, these guys are going to have these nights, but it's going to be up to you to go on the other end and do something other than just, okay, if you just made a 3, it's not tit for tat. Drive to the basket, because those guys don't want to use that energy up on the defensive end. And I look at that 3-point percentage, and in my mind as a coach, I'm like, yo, do something other than shooting threes. But I know that's what they do in this day and age. They want to shoot threes regardless of, you know, what's happening, but the percentages. But sometimes when you play a team like this, you go to hole, draw the big, because they got shot blockers. Yeah. Drop it off to the other big. So it was telling tonight.
So much to talk about. I want to talk about AD and where he was offensively and what you think he needs to do. We'll talk LeBron and all that, but let's get you to the highlights first so you guys can see him if you're just joining. 193. Damian Lillard with 34 points, 9 of 21, 5 assists. C.J. McCollum, 21 points, 8 of 20, 5 rebounds. Nurkic, 16 points, 15 boards. He had a double-double after the first quarter. LeBron James, 22nd, triple-double in a Laker uniform, 23 points, 17 rebounds, 16 assists. We now bring in our friend, Allie Clifton. What do you got, Allie?
Guys, I just think when you look at the start of this game and the end of this game, it was very indicative of how different the process leading up to game one was between the Blazers and the Lakers. And Damian Lillard just mentioned it on the postgame show right after that win for them, was that they had been playing playoff basketball this entire time. And it prepared them, as he mentioned, for game one. I think you look at the start of how the Lakers came out, the lack of urgency a bit, trying to find that rhythm, trying to find that flow, as you guys mentioned off the top of the show. What'd you see from the Blazers? They were in rhythm, they were in flow, they were able to provide that pressure. And then you look at the last 7:21 of that game. You guys just showed it in the highlight, 19-6 run. You had a bit of some tired legs for the Lakers, short shots. Rob, you talk about all the time, when you're short, it's because you're tired, your legs aren't under you. For the Blazers, 3 after 3, just rhythm, flow. Everything we have seen this entire time from them stayed on par.
One thing that I talked about over the last couple weeks, and I know it's not an excuse because everybody's in the same situation, but when I watch Milwaukee today lose to Orlando and I watch Portland beat the Lakers, those are #1 seeds. If you're at home and you're playing at Staples, I guarantee you have some energy. They just didn't have it in that first quarter. And like Ali said, Rob and James, Portland in a different mode. We're against the world the entire time. Miracle after miracle just to get into the playoff series, to get into the playoffs against Memphis. Well, you know, different mindset.
Dame said it before the bubble even started, like, if we don't have a chance to go in, I'm not going down there. And he's showing you now we have a chance, and now that I'm down here, I'm going to put in work. The thing you got to understand about this bubble is, guys, you can't sit back and think I'm going to be ready for the playoffs. I look at the way the Lakers approached this in the bubble. They had those games where, I'm not going to play LeBron, I'm not going to play AD. These guys were out there getting a rhythm. These guys were playing playoff games, like Ali said. But you cannot think you're going to turn on because, I'm the #1 seed. Yes, but you're not at home, so it does not matter in the bubble. And I don't really think they were prepared going into this game because they didn't have not one game in the bubble that was a good game to me.
87-81.
Yeah.
Kuz hits that bucket. We're sitting there watching this game together. We both felt good at that time. Dame, CJ hit huge shots right after that. Dame hit 2 in a row. Changed everything.
But you said it too. Dame time is a real thing.
It's a real thing.
And that's the thing is no team can feel comfortable, whether you're in the East or you're the West, going against a guy like him who has a hot hand, who feels it all over the floor. You talked about it. The shot should be outlawed. When it's way past and at the logo as it was one of those things. It's one of those things for the Lakers that you have to be able to build yourself some cushion. Yeah. You know, more than just a 1-2 possession game. And my question here, I guess, moving forward is, given there is no travel days, it is every other day. How do the Lakers find that rhythm? How do they make sure they gain the momentum that they need?
And big game, when you're minus 24 in threes, 13-5, in this kind of a game that's back and forth, man, it's tough to win.
Yeah, Rob said it.
It's tough to win.
Rob said it. They hadn't had a really good, consistent game since they've been in the bubble. They've been, struggling here in one category. They might get one right here, but they have not put it all together. People are going to think I'm crazy when I say this, but best thing to happen to them right now is a loss. It's going to wake them up.
Has to.
It's going to wake them up because the lethargic is something you cannot have. And, there is no advantage. There's no home court advantage here. So they got to realize that and come out with some killer instinct.
All right, let's go back to the Lakers locker room. Kuz is with the media.
Hey, Kyle. You guys did pretty well on defense tonight, holding Portland to its lowest point total in the bubble. By far, actually. But on offense, you guys struggled. It's kind of been a little bit of a story in the bubble for you guys. What happened out there tonight, in your opinion?
We just didn't hit shots. Plain and simple. We had a lot of wide open looks that we just didn't complete. And that's kind of the story. I think we did a great job defensively. A few little mess ups, but, not bad for the first game.
Yeah, Kyle, you mentioned the open looks. The team shot 15.6% from three-point range. Is there a way to turn that around in time for game two? It's another issue that's kind of been plaguing you guys really since you got to Orlando.
Yeah, I think so. We got shooters. It's all about really confidence. I think that, coming out the gate, first playoff game, a lot of jitters. Just from the team, not so necessarily the jitters, but just, the anxiety and that rush to play. So, if we could just calm down, take our time, because the shots are going to be there all series. They want to crowd the paint, and, you got to hit shots.
The good news for you guys, all these games in the first round are every other day. They're really tightly packed. Did you see enough?
Game is every other day. So for us, if we're able to just continue to just just play with spirit. That's the biggest thing. Just play with spirit.
Me too. Hey, Kyle, this is Brad here in LA. You're a very confident player, shooter, but when you guys are all missing shots the way you are, how do you maintain your confidence when you're shooting, like Brad said, 15.6% from three-point range?
You gotta race. You gotta race your memory. That's part about being confident. If you miss 10 in a row or you made 10 in a row, you gotta forget about them. You gotta keep shooting them. I like to say just shoot till you get hot, and I think we have that capability.
Game 2 of the Lakers Trailblazers is on Thursday. Game time is at 6. Our pregame coverage begins at 5. We will see you then for sure. Let's head back to Orlando. Frank Vogel speaking with Mike Trudell in the media via Zoom.
Frank, Damian Lillard said in his walk-off interview on TNT that all of the close games they played in the seeding games got them ready for this, got them in that kind of a rhythm. How do you start to try to bridge that gap now as you are in the playoffs now down 0-1?
Yeah, I mean that's what we're up against. Obviously it's a different scenario where that team's been playing basically game 7s for the last 2 weeks, and we've been trying to work guys in and playing games that don't count in the standings. So, but that's all behind us. That really doesn't mean anything right now. We have to execute and make shots down the stretch.
Hey, Frank, it's Dave. It was tied 89-89 when Dame pulled up from 36 feet, put them up 3. Then they got a 3 from Melo on the next possession, and I think LeBron might have scored, and then Trent got another 3. Can you just walk me through your guys' defense on those 3 possessions, because it seemed to open up the game for the Blazers? Right. Well, the big bomb that Dame hit, I have to look at the tape on that one. I know he hit a 3 off of a loose ball. There were 2 guys diving on the floor. Our competitive spirit was off the charts. We just lost that loose ball and swung to Dame, and he bombs a deep 3. That might be the one you're referring to. And then late in the game, Dame's the guy that commands a double team. So we had the right coverage. We're just a step late getting both to Melo and to Trent on the backside 3s.
Allie?
Tanya, Kimberly? You talked about how they've been basically playing game 7s for the past 2 weeks, and you guys are still trying to work guys in. Do you have time to figure that out as you go right now?
Of course. It's one game. We're very confident in our group still, and the time was used the right way. But there's no stimulation like what they've been in, and now we're in the playoff environment. So I was pleased with our competitive spirit. We didn't make shots. You know what I mean? I think we're going to shoot the ball better than we saw tonight, and we'll continue to focus on our shooting work and our shot quality.
Kyle Goon?
Frank, LeBron's stat line has never been done in the playoffs before. Obviously losing game 1 is disappointing, I'm sure, but does that add to any disappointment that LeBron had a game like this and you guys weren't able to find a way to win?
We would have had over 20 assists if we knocked down 3s at the rate that we're capable of, and that at the rate that we will. So, it's certainly disappointing, to lose this game in all ways. But obviously with the performance that he had, he was spectacular, and disappointed to lose this game.
Joe Barton, please.
Frank, we've talked for a year, really, about all the times you coached against him in the playoffs and what that's like and what he's like. Do you notice a difference in the LeBron that you saw in all those battles with the way he approached today's game?
He's been locked in and attentive and focused all year long. So I think our whole group was obviously a little, the focus, intensity was a little more heightened than usual, and that would apply to LeBron.
Mark Medina?
Hey, Frank, the point you made about shot quality, what's it going to take to get to what you'd like there so that the 3-point shots drop in?
Playing patient, trust the percentages, law of averages, and continue to work with our guys on identifying the right shots and remaining confident.
Much more ahead. LeBron and the Lakers lost game 1 against the Blazers. LeBron James with a triple-double. We'll have more reaction next.
Access with the jam.
Yeah.
Seen that before.
I wish he'd stay in that paint, man. Get a permanent address down in there until he makes something happen. But, yeah, LeBron, you know, what? How many assists
16.
tonight? 15 assists. Amazing eyesight.
16.
And is a good position for AD to get down in there deep. Every time he got in the paint, something good happened.
Yeah.
A lot of good paint points from him. Roll to the basket. Roll that.
I just think a lot of his touches, James, felt like they were outside the three-point line.
He could have had
no elbow.
He could have had 65% more inside shots if he just rolled in there. We know he likes that outside game too, but in this case, Portland had no answer for our bigs. You look at what we did offensively: Dwight Howard, McGee, all on the board. So I think you got to recognize when you have to be in the paint more and dominate.
I wonder if they take a look at their shots at halftime, because I hope someone is telling AD every shot he took from three, he was falling back. He was short on like 4 of them. And as a coach, you need to be watching your guys when you shoot the ball and say, hey, AD, you're leaning back too far on your shot, because he was just
There's times when you do pick and pop, but there was one play when Caruso came off the pick and roll, and he just automatically thought that Dwight was going to be there, and he threw it to an open spot, and Dwight had backed out. He had backed out. So they got to get together on that and figure out, you know, are you going to roll or are you going to pop? I prefer to roll against a smaller team like Portland.
All right. Thank you, Ali. But now it's time for a little Access 360 for Rob.
Yes.
3-pointers.
Yeah.
Missed a lot of them.
We're going to talk about their 3-pointers. The Lakers weren't very good tonight from 3, so they was 5 for 32, which is poor. Right here you see AD has a post up. He's looking. He's eyeballing. There are 4 people in the paint for Portland. You pass it around. Then you got Pope tries to drive. Oh, now this is what it just goes kaput. That is a bad 3. Pope should have came and did some attack more. Now here you see LeBron is posting up. Everybody's outside the paint except for Dwight. And now Dwight's causing the contention. So a little play here, picks, rolls, and do everything, pass around. LeBron says, you know what? Shot clock's running down. I'm going to throw it for 3. Here we got LeBron's watching the game. Got another pick and roll situation. Nobody's really attacking the baskets. Everybody's filifarting around, as my mom would like to say. And now you got 5 guys all eyeballing LeBron. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Back. You spin, you throw out the coups, and what do you get? You get a bad shot off the side of the backboard, which lets you know that you were not locked in and engaged in this game. When you shoot the ball off the side of the basketball, and Kuz, watching your interview, you got to come out. It's a game. It's a playoff. It's not a regular season game. You got to come out ready to play.
What'd you think of his first?
I thought
played hard, 14 points.
He played extremely hard, but you can't have that attitude after the game. You got to be mad. You got to be pissed off of losing the game. I felt like when he's in the position, he's talking, and he was like, "Oh, it's just a game." Oh, it's not just a game. It's a playoff game, man. This is trying to get that bling, and he just got to take it like that. Take it more serious.
You know, James, it's such a tough thing shooting threes when you just feel like they're settling for them and you want to change your whatever your strategy. But when you're swinging the ball and you're getting open shots and you're not hitting them, Frank Vogel said you're making the right play. Sooner or later, guys got to step up and hit them.
Yeah, they do. And, you know, they just really have to focus on, you know, whatever it is, following through, you know, landing in the same spot. I don't know. But in those few plays that we showed right there in the 360, there is no movement.
Yeah.
The defense is standing right there. If you want to get good threes, the weak side has to move a little bit to take that help away. You got to take the defensive help away from LeBron. If you're just standing there, they pack it in, and then when you throw it out, you don't make the defense do anything. If LeBron or AD would go to the cup, the defense would collapse a little bit more. But when you're just standing there and you throw it out, all the defense has to do is take one step, and they're on you. So lack of motion was a problem as well.
Yeah, Rob hit it on the head. I mean, the spacing was really inconsistent, and it has been throughout the bubble.
You know, if you look at the Lakers spacing, you could close your eyes and just walk to them, but we'll get to that later.
All right. LeBron had a triple-double.
The King is getting ready to talk.
Yeah, he's talking now. LeBron's speaking with Mike in the media.
Hey, LeBron, we spoke so much in the seeding games about offensive rhythm and shots just not going down. Did you see anything different tonight in the way that you guys were creating shots and if there was anything different that Portland was doing?
We had some great opportunities. We had some great looks. Just didn't knock them down. Nothing you can say about it. We created a lot of great looks. Just weren't able to make them fall.
Seemed like you guys were able to hang in the game with your defense up until those final few minutes when they hit the back-to-back threes. Anything specifically defensively, LeBron, on those possessions that made the difference?
Yeah, we had a couple breakdowns, which you can't have down the stretch, especially versus a team that's very high like Portland. And those two, the two-headed monsters are the ones who kind of, made the plays. CJ hitting a big three, Dame hitting a couple threes as well. And then Melo hitting the three late and Gary Trent hitting a three. So they had 5 threes late in the game after we had done an exceptional job of trying to keep them off the three-point line. But, they made enough plays to win the game down the stretch, and we didn't.
Hey, LeBron, it's Dave. I know there's going to be a lot of basketball-related questions, and I know my colleagues do a great job asking them. I just wanted to ask 2 non-game-related questions. One, you weren't on the court for the anthem and the intros. I wanted to see if there's any intention behind that. And 2, could you please talk to me about the hat that you're wearing that all of your teammates wore to the game tonight?
You want to know why I wasn't out there?
I don't need to know the specific reason unless there was an intention behind it.
You want to know why I wasn't out there?
No, I think I'm good. Could you talk to me about the hat, please?
It's just something that we continue to put our foot on the gas, continue to pressure. The situation that's going on in Louisville, Kentucky, innocent woman being killed, and by the name of Breonna Taylor, a woman who had a bright future, and her life was taken away from her. And there's been no arrest, there's been no justice, not only for her, but for her family. And we want to continue to shed light on that situation. It's just unjust. And, that's what it's about.
Okay, I'm going to take a couple here. Start with Tanya Ganguli.
There's so much talk about the momentum that Portland has built up over the last couple of weeks, and that you guys haven't been in the same situation, obviously. Do you feel like that's something that's hurting you guys right now, the rhythm, not being in rhythm? And how long do you think, how close or how far are you from getting that?
I don't know. I can answer that question. We play the game the right way, make the extra pass, shoot the shots that's there, try to create 2 on the basketball. You got numbers on the back end on 4 on 3. And defensively, you have to, key in on the game plan. Can't make mistakes in the postseason. I believe we made some mistakes defensively. So we played hard, but just some mistakes that we made, especially going down the stretch. And offensively, we got some really good looks. Just got knocked down. We go 5 for 35 from the three-point line, and we missed 11 free throws. And in a close game up until those last couple minutes. So those are things that we, the shooting from the outside is things you can't control. You want to shoot better from the free throw line, but the mistakes are things you can control.
Think about you in the playoffs and kind of the theater of it. The flexing and pounding your chest and the destroyer and stand up on the scoreboards and then talking about man in the arena and kind of all that. Did you feel any of that tonight?
I have no idea what that question even means.
Did you feel the normal passion and intensity and sort of just all the things that go into playoff LeBron? Did you feel?
Like I continue to say, this is different. This is different in an aspect of this. I'm in a bubble with no fans. But as far as me being locked in on the game plan, that doesn't change, not one bit. Me going out making plays, playing at a high level, try to help our team win, that was the same. Nothing changes from that. So that's the same me.
All right. Specifically, that last sequence in the fourth quarter, Dame hits a 3, then Melo hits a 3, and Gary Trent, I believe, hits a 3. Did Dame's sort of initial shot near half court, do you feel like had a specific momentum effect or change anything about the game?
Obviously, it was a big time shot, but it was a breakdown.
it was a breakdown defensively. He makes big shots. He takes big shots. Commend him for that. And on the Melo three, it was a breakdown as well. We didn't get the rotation correct, and the same as the Gary Trent Jr. shot. We were slow in the rotation, so those things that we can control.
Hey, LeBron, you had a historic performance tonight with 15-15 in the playoffs, the first person who's done that. Can you talk about what was your mindset heading into tonight's game? And is there a sense of frustration when you have a performance like that and then the game doesn't go the way you want it to?
My mindset going into the game is to make plays, for my team. When I get the opportunity to make plays for myself, but more importantly, just keying in on the keys. Our coach staff gave us a great game plan to go out and execute it, and I just try to not make mistakes. I know mistakes happen throughout the course of the game, but I try not to combat them. If I make one, I don't want to make the same mistake the next time, the next possession, or next quarter. So, just being locked in on the game plan is what it's all about. No frustration, because the game is the game, and we came in with a mindset to win. We didn't take care of business, but we got another opportunity, on Thursday to even the series, and that's my only mindset. I'm gonna go back to the hotel, watch film tonight, lock in with the team tomorrow, and then prepare again on Thursday before the game and get ready to play.
Last question, Bill Orm.
Hey, LeBron, I actually have two here, but one, I don't know if I've ever seen you and AD both miss a pair of free throws back-to-back like that. What was just your reaction to that sequence? And then the other one being, you had a week between games here in the bubble, obviously with a lot of idle time, presumably, aside from practice. How did you spend that week between games getting ready for the playoffs?
Yeah, definitely, not normal for AD to miss two in a row. I've missed two in a row before. It's happened in my career before. AD shoots the ball extremely well. Definitely, wasn't expecting that, but we got to do a better job of making those. Those are easy points. Get the team in the bonus. You go to the free throw line, you knock them down. So as the two leaders of the team, we got to go up and knock them.
Changed the game right there. Got them going defensively in that second unit. Kind of got them back in the game. Mars hit a three. Good bench play.
Back to the bubble we go. 28-11 for Anthony Davis in the loss. He's speaking with Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Anthony, what did you think about the way that Portland defended you? Did anything surprise you based on what your expectations were? And how do you think you guys did in trying to create good offensive good shots?
We played for the double team. They didn't double team as much. It kind of left me one-on-one in the post. But, just going out there being aggressive, missed a ton of shots tonight. We all did as a team. We just got to be able to take our time and knock down shots from the line and from three. So, we'll be fine. We continue to shoot with confidence and trying to work the kinks out from the three-point line, and then we'll be fine.
As a team, you guys did struggle from three for much of the seeding games, but you were pretty efficient inside the paint. Tonight, that just didn't happen for whatever reason, as you alluded to, around 45%. What did you see at the rim? Was it something Portland was doing, or why were so many shots getting missed at the rim?
They got a couple good rim protectors, especially Whiteside. He's always, tough to score on, especially in the paint. But we missed some easy ones, especially in that first half. I missed a couple, really easy ones. We just gotta play through contact. Don't look for the fouls. And just play through it, and don't try to let the ref decide the game. We're looking for fouls early. We just gotta play through it and take our time and finish at the rim regardless of the foul.
Anthony, it's Dave. You might have started to answer what my question is going to be with that last answer to Mike. But how do you account for the 8 for 24? Was it maybe needing to play through more contact, and overall your team shooting was another rough night? And what can you do in game two?
Make shots for game two, but just got to take our time at the rim. I say just go strong and finish, or knowing that their rim protectors are gonna come and try to block a shot, dump it to the big guy or kick it out for threes. But we just gotta make shots. Be confident in our process and our work, and And when we kick it out to our shooters, be comfortable and take our time and knock down shots, and that's a difference in the game.
Allie?
Kyle Goon, please.
You mentioned your slow start. How much did LeBron specifically as a playmaker kind of get you confident in going? It seemed like he found you near the rim on drives and transition.
Yeah, just setting a lot of screens for him to get downhill, and I'm rolling to the basket, but we start playing with pace. He's really good when we're running. The team is really good when we're running. And as long as we continue to play with a lot of pace, it's definitely tough to beat us. It's when we slow down and we're not running where we kind of get in trouble. So just trying to play with a lot of energy, and we did that, especially in that second quarter. And when he got the ball and he's pushing, he's looking for guys, and it creates a lane for him to be able to attack the basket. So just got to continue to play with pace and make it tough on their defense.
Damian Lillard tonight, 34 points, 9 of 21, 6 of 13 from three. 3 of those came in the fourth quarter. After the Blazers win, he talked with the media via Zoom.
We should be proud that, we pulled the first one out. It takes a lot of work to do it, but I think you just got to move on to the next one. We didn't have some big discussion like, oh, we haven't done anything, because we have. We won a game. But we smart enough to know it's like we won the game. That's a good thing. Now we got to prepare for the next one. We're not just overly trying to act like we're not proud of what we did, because we are, but we also not, going to rest in it and pat ourselves on the back. We're going to try to figure out the things that we didn't do well that we could do better next game, and just try to give ourselves a chance to win the next game.
Rob, talk a little Dame right there. We were watching that fourth quarter together, and just how many times he either helped them stay close or separate.
Oh, the thing about him is, if you were a guy who knew basketball and you walked in the gym and saw him take these shots, you'd be like, oh, he's a selfish basketball player. These are bad shots, but these are Dame shots. He's in a whole other category by himself. The thing about him, you watched him play. He didn't care. It was picking him up full court. He just said, okay, I'm just going down the court without the basketball. I'm going to move without it. But it was like he was plotting for this moment. He was saving his energy for the fourth quarter. And in the fourth quarter, he came out pulling from deep, because a couple of them you had AD in his face, a couple of them you had Green in his face. He did not care. And that's a sign of a confident player. A lot of people, I watch them talk about Damian, like, oh, he's cocky. No, he's not cocky. He's confident. And as a basketball player, you have to be very confident in this game.
He was 0 for 3 in the third quarter with just 2 points. That's when you really wanted the Lakers to capitalize.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job. I thought they had a hand in his face. His shots were a little bit tougher, a little bit more contested. But he also had 5 assists. So he also penetrates and gets other shots for other people, too. So, but when you allow him, to just get the ball and do what he wants to do, it's going to be a nightmare for you. Sometimes you have to get in front of him. When he wants to go this way, you have to get in front of him and